22 weeks of unbroken protests in Hong Kong. On Saturday, pro-democracy activist Joshua Wong called for 100,000 people to take to streets, and thousands defied police ban against face masks. Many wore gas masks. "We have to come out to protect the freedoms we deserve," a protester, 17, told AFP.
Here's a summary of the article.
Fresh protests began in Hong Kong on Saturday amid concerns that Beijing plans to tighten its control in the territory. Police released tear gas into the crowd and fired a dozen rounds to quell the protest, which authorities said did not have official police permission to take place. Some protesters occupied streets in the upscale Causeway Bay shopping area. Many protesters defied a government ban on face masks. Many protesters carried British or colonial flags, in reference to the promises made by the UK in 1997 at the time of the handover. In the following months, protesters began to demand direct elections for Hong Kong's leaders. Hong Kong will hold district council elections next month.
This post received a score of 28,104, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
A man was pulled out of his car and arrested for playing the song "Glory to Hong Kong." The police in turn rudely pushed him around and yelled at him. These are quick summaries, so if I got any facts wrong please correct me. I typed these in a hurry, so we'll correct them as more evidence surface.
Greater than arrested for playing the song "Glory to Hong Kong." People are being arrested for playing songs. What charges are being brought against them? I want to know how the HK police justify this.
Greater than raising the flag and singing the anthem are, while somewhat suspicious, not in themselves acts of treason. Terry Pratchett, Night Watch.
Hong Kong is a battleground, chaos on the streets, and that's despite hundreds of unlawful arrests. Reports suggest the police are going around and arresting as many people who they believe are troublemakers to quash the demonstrators. Similar to the French police and the Yellow Vest movement in Paris.
Is the Yellow Vest protest still going? Haven't heard anything from it lately.
Every Saturday. Not nearly as much chaos as the first weeks, but still happening. 1 year of protest coming up soon.
Where I'm in France and I haven't seen anything.
Multiple cities. You can look up on Twitter #Act51 to see news.
Does the new law forbidding the wearing of masks in HK also apply to the HK police who are trying to control the demonstrations?
Of course not. Must be about 51 in France also.
Are those still going? Did they ever deal with the fascist problem?
Honestly, I live there and I barely hear about it anymore. They still exist, but they are barely a shadow of their former selves. The lack of real direction or credible revendications meant that over time they lost momentum. Public outrage about the police's behavior started to dwindle as they gradually stopped being assholes, and shifted towards a generalized annoyance towards the movement and their often infuriating blockades. So with time they lost more and more people and public goodwill. I'm not saying that nobody supports them anymore, but they certainly aren't that popular anymore.
This is going to be the fate of Hong Kong's protests as well, and is the ultimate fate of any leaderless protest movement. No leaders means no overarching strategy for how to achieve your goals, which leads to your protest movement doing stupid things that damage their credibility over time to the public until things fizzle out due to lack of support.
The Yellow Vests and the Hong Kong protests are significantly different in their scope and scale. The Hong Kong movement doesn't have those shortcomings. What is happening doesn't only concern a single demographic, but all the citizens of Hong Kong. The other citizens aren't going to turn away from the movement because what they are protesting against is exceedingly obvious and unambiguous.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.